Hello, and welcome back to the channel. As most of you know, I'm Topher. And for those of you who don't know and just randomly decided to click on my video, welcome to the channel. I'm Topher. Thank you for stopping by. So we're here to do a reaction, and then we're diving back into Papa and Daddy. We've only got 2 episodes left, although I did recently see on Twitter talks about there being a season 2, which made me very, very excited to see. So I don't know if that's true and how far into the process that is, but if it is true, praise Jesus, I'm looking forward to it. But we're just gonna dive in and continue seeing where this series leads us. Where are we gonna go? What's gonna happen? So let's just dive on in.
各位粉丝，大家好！为了庆祝，跟着姐弟做料理，突破50万订阅数啊
！Yes, come on, 500K
邀请到我的超级
goals.
跟着我一起做料理
Working toward that 100K, we coming.
尖叫声，让我们欢迎知名100万网红 Brian。
我结婚了。
Hello, Brian.
哎，你知道你今天要干嘛吗？
我不是违背群了吗？
Praise Jesus.
这样，还露点耶！
不要挑衅
He had his nipples covered. It's fine.
杰力，别闹。
对不起，我也想失态了。那个，因为他穿这样真的实在是太欠打我，对不起，我一时忍不住。
哎，因为你我才愿意牺牲色相，好不好？而且你看，网友都说爱看呐。
哦
You're cute.
OK， 那我
And I'm here for the nails.
谢谢我们的布莱恩为我们观众带来的福利哦。
I don't know if they're gonna get in the way of the cooking, but come on.
那我要干嘛？我先说，我的手不能碰水哦，因为人家才刚做好水晶指甲。
那你今天到底来干嘛？
当花瓶喽。
Come on, booty. I saw that little peekaboo. Little peekaboo cupcakes.
OK， 那我们现在就来切甜椒啦。啊。
Now, see, you can't be in my kitchen doing all that kind of stuff. I gotta focus on my food.
现在切下一个了。
I like this Brian character. Let's keep him around.
完蛋了啦！这集播出之后，我就完全没形象。
拜托，你又没有拖，牺牲的是我哎。
你就本色出演啊！
对，本色出演。
嗯。
而且罗姐，回去。
妈。
哎，潘姐丽呀，哎，刚才在直播上面那个是你的大学同学黄嘉恩吗？
对啊。
哎，他怎么变成那个样子，不男不女的啦？
你不要乱批评人家好不好？人家很受欢迎哎。你知道我干嘛？
好啦，妈妈是要来恭喜你啊！你的粉丝人数已经破50万了耶，非常厉害哦！哎，这样子可以赚多少钱啊？
还可以啦。如果有广告商下广告的话，我就可以收成。
不错不错，哎，那这样的状况可以维持多久呢？
我怎么知道啊？现在就去努力想好好的内容嘛。那你管那么多干嘛？
哎呀，不要不耐烦啦！妈妈是想告诉你说呢，现在收入也稳定了，你可以开始给我好好的去相亲啦。
还相亲嘞？
妈，我没时间谈恋爱。
Yes, I'm in a very committed
相
one.
亲最快啊，大家目标一致啊，看对眼了就结婚了嘛。
Been there, done that.
我现在每天都很忙，新增衣服要3个月后了。
你不要再找借口了，哎，你就给我乖乖的去相亲，反正我钱都缴了。那个妈妈很忙啊，没有空去陪你，你记得给我穿帅一点哦，赶快去给我相亲，拜拜。
不然到时候我假扮成你女友啊。
Brian's got good eyebrows too.
知难而退。怎么样？
白痴啊！
I mean, they both do. But...
潘先生，我都有按时收看你的频道学做菜哦。哇，你本人更帅耶！但是啊， 有一集辣炒小姐那一集啊，如果你前面先花椒去煸香的话，味道会更棒哦。还有苦瓜炒咸蛋有没有？苦瓜要先过水才不会苦啊。我告诉你，我厨艺超
He's like,
棒的。
he's like, this is great. Don't tell me how to cook.
哎呦，你害羞什么啦？天菜就在你前面，还在吃什么菜？要是妈妈年轻个几十岁，早就倒追了。
黄妈那个喝茶，哎，
谢谢。
是，你好，我叫潘丽杰，潘杰丽，我是一名 YouTuber。
I love her. I love her look.
请问你是做什么工作的？
我在念2，最近在研究现代人步入婚姻之前的一些行为模式，为我的论文做准备。
难怪，你看起来一点都不像来相亲的。
你看起来不需要靠相亲找对象啊，通常只有一种可能，被家人逼的。
对，不过你好厉害啊，这样猜得到。
干嘛那么听话啊？
我是家里的长子，又是单传，不过我妈又属猴的，整天活结要死，一直逼我相亲。
你摩羯座的对不对？
你怎么会知道？哦，你太神了吧！根本就是女儿。
See, I knew I liked her. We could be like besties. Like
那个妈妈超疯狂的，后来她也送我一本诗谱，超好笑的。
看起来你挺享受这个过程的嘛。
很有趣啊！还有这个女生，你看，她很酷吧？她很聪明哎，我才跟她聊一下，她都知道我是什么星座。
你到底还需要去多少次这样子的碰面呢？
看一下哦，下礼拜还有几个呢？
你不觉得很浪费时间吗？我今天为了要接凯凯放学，我已经推掉2个会议了。
对不起嘛，我也不想啊。你也不是不清楚我妈的个性。
我不清楚，我只知道你已经长大了，你可以自己做主。
也许你无法理解，但在我妈眼里，我永远是个小孩啊。
是你允许你妈替你做决定的，你为什么不干脆拒绝呢？
你其实想说我为何不干脆出柜吧？很抱歉，我不像你一样想干嘛就干嘛，还有家人无条件支持。
Sorry baby，我不是这个意思。
但我有这个意思啊。我去跟凯凯睡，baby。
I mean, I know it's tough. Heck, thankfully, I've never had to experience it firsthand. My family was very, very supportive, and hell, they knew the entire time. Y'all have heard my whole coming out story. If y'all watch Guys Up Policula, those reactions, but I've not had to go through that, so I can only imagine. I can sympathize and I can empathize with it, but I don't know firsthand. But
喂，妈，
你在哪里呀？
卖场啊，买等一下直播用的东西。
介绍总监跟我说，有一个黄小姐的妈妈很满意你耶，后续有没有跟人家联络啊？
哦，黄小姐啊，黄小姐太文静了啦。而且我跟她妈还聊得比较来，你应该不介意我交往跟你年纪差不多的吧？
不要开玩笑。那另外一个呢？听说是个高材生，应该很不错哦。
人家对我没兴趣啊。
潘先生，是我啊，上次跟我妈一起在那个咖啡厅。
啊，黄小姐啊，终于听到你开口说话。
那个，其实我妈她一直在等你跟我们联络哎。
哦，我最近有点忙哎，不好意思。
爸爸。
啊。
哎，爸爸，你今天好慢哦。
awkward.
好，谢谢，拜拜。
他是你儿子？
黄小姐，我不是故意要隐瞒你的，我有我的苦衷，希望你不要跟你妈说。
好，我不会说，但我们还是不要再联络比较好。
好，我知道，对不起。
还有，你之后如果我要去相亲，我觉得你要诚实一点啦。
Okay, well that took care of that problem, unless she goes and tells her mama and her mama goes and tells his mama. But still, that takes care of that.
你肚子饿吗？ 你还在生我的气啊？
是你还在生我的气吧？
老公，对不起，是我太懦弱，不但伤害你，也对不起想找对象的那些女生。
怎么了？
今天揭凯开放学的时候，巧遇黄小姐，看她伤心的样子，就好像我们交往很久，被抓到出轨一样。
可见，他是真的蛮喜欢你的。
I mean, it was just one day.
那你接下来打算怎么办？
明天还有一场，我不想失约，但我想当面跟对方说清楚真实的情况。之后我也不会再参加任何的相亲，我也不想再欺骗任何人。
不如明天我陪你去吧。如果他们看到我们这么恩爱，一定会理解的。可是你妈那边怎么办？
我不知道。
We'll figure it out.
没关系，我们一步步来。
Exactly. We'll get there.
谢谢。陈小姐，不好意思，有些话我想要当面跟你说清楚。这次的相亲是我妈妈安排的，可是我喜欢的是男生，就是他。我们在一起已经6年了。
那你干嘛还要带你妈来相亲啊？
真的对不起，耽误你的时间，是我还不够勇敢。
陈小姐，今天所有的费用我们都会负责，不好意思，让你外跑一趟。
是不用啦，也没有多少钱。
拜托，我们是真的很想弥补。
神经哦，我不是骗财骗色了，没那么严重啊。
哎，还是你有喜欢怎么样类型的男生，我们可以介绍。
对，我身边有认识很多条件不错。
哎，算了吧，你们觉得条件好的应该也都是 gay 吧？
谭杰利，
Well, this came out a
几
lot
次
quicker.
相亲下来都没有结果，我以为是你害羞不知道怎么跟女生相处，原来真相竟然是这个样子。
好，妈妈，
你不要讲话，你跟他联合起来一起骗我。
Okay, but we don't have to cause a scene in the middle of the restaurant.
你不是高中的时候还交过女朋友吗？
那只是障眼法。我其实从国中的时候就发现我喜欢男生。
吵了这么久，怎么会这样？你是，你妹也是，都是我的错，让你们变成同性恋，让你们生病，都是我的错。
这跟你没关系，而且同性恋去病化很久了，台湾连同志婚姻法都过了。
我不管，一定有办法改变。走，我带你去看精神科。
你可不可以冷静一点啊？我就是怕你这样，我才不敢跟你说啊。
那你就应该瞒到底啊！你就应该像正常人一样结婚生子、成家立业嘛！你这样子，我要怎么跟你爸交代啊？
要交代什么？我到底做错什么了？我现在很幸福快乐， 有个人在我身边陪着我，这难道不是你们希望的吗？
你太自私了，我再也不要管你的事情了。你和米恩也别想得到我的认同。
一样。妈又没有把你搞定啊！我跟你说，他以前交到我跟女儿亲亲的时候，也是那边唠狠话，现在不是好好的，还警告我不准花心哎。
那是他早就放弃你了。
对啊，所以说没有期待就不会有失望啊。早就叫你出柜了，一直在那边拖。
那是你没看到妈的表情，恨不得没生过我一样。
他就很会情绪勒索啊！我跟姐早就看穿了，只是你还吃他那一套，你吃不腻啊？
小芳知道了。
废话，那马上打给我问知不知道你的事情。我跟你说，姐那时候在开会，然后她说妈声音大到主管以为家里谁死掉了。
差不多了吧？
没那么严重啦，你往好处想，你现在就可以大方做自己啦。
是吧？看那有多糟吗
？Lord, don't say that.
还是你要不要找机会跟爸聊聊？
不要。我警告你，千万不能让爸知道，妹在跟你开玩笑。
好。
这应该这边，
是不是？那章鱼在哪里？
那我看一下，这个
这尾巴了。
啊，它的尾巴，对不起。妈，
潘杰里，你为什么都不接电话？
我手机在充电啊。
你叫明安赶快带着凯凯出门。
啊？
我跟你爸刚在台北吃完喜酒，现在你爸说要去找你啦。
啊？我爸妈现在要来我们家，你可不可以先带凯凯出去？只要2个小时就好。现在？凯凯，我们先不要玩了，好不好？
我要拼拼图。
爹地带你出去吃冰淇淋，快点。
不行啊！你忘了他昨天晚上还在闹肚子痛吗？最近吃太多冰了。
我要拼拼图。
啊，凯凯，不如我们去附近的公园玩溜滑梯，好不好？
不要，不要。
拜托啦，我们就去玩一下下就回来了。
对不起嘛，爸爸临时有事情要谈，拜托。
来，爹地帮你换衣服，好不好？去一下就回来了。来，先换衣服，好吧？我们出去一下下就回来了，拜托。我帮你换衣服，好吧？
不行，想不演。
老公，对不起，
Just being a kid.
不是你的错。来，小心手。哎呀，
爸妈，你们怎么来啊？这是我朋友，他们准备要走了。
你朋友，那就一起进来，我也认识认识。
啊，没关系啊，反正我时间也来不及了。哎，凯凯。
呀，我要出门了。
You know, this episode got so much happening right now.
爸妈，你们来不事先通知一下，家里很乱。
又不是外人，你不要忙了，坐下。
好啦，他是潘杰利的同事。对啦，之前是室友。你不是告诉我他上个月搬出去了吗？
对，他下一班出去了，我们现在只是同事。
哦，是非常非常单纯的同事。
Child.
潘伯伯你好，我叫 Damian。
Child.
一点见面礼，谢谢你这几年对杰利的照顾，我应该早点来看你们的。
哎，妹妹，刚刚电视上有拍到你参加同志游行的画面，旁边是你哥吗？
啊，哎，被拍到了。
为什么他牵这个男生啊？
啊，你不要问我啦，这种事他自己说比较好啊。你先过来。
Child, this episode is
不是什么很贵重的礼物，但是跟杰利大学毕业时我送他的那条一模一样。虽然我无法理解你们的感情，但是潘贝贝有在看新闻，知道这个世界已经跟我们当年的年代不一样了。
谢谢，潘贝贝。
对不起。
Y'all can't be giving me this moment right now. Like,
你真的能接受吗？
不接受也改变不了结果，所以，我选择接受。
爸爸，当我知道他是同性恋的时候，我真的压力好大，我每天都睡不着，我每天都失眠。
你早就知道了。
我变得好辛苦啊！
你叫什么名字？凯凯呀，妈妈，真是我们的孙子哎！哎呦，哎呀，抱抱啊！哎呀，你看看，哎呦，几岁了？哎呀，帅小孩。
okay. Well, I didn't come prepared for these emotions. Yeah. That was the last thing I came prepared for. It's been a very, very long... Feels like it's been a very long time since I've watched a series that's made me emotional in that sense. Like, I've watched a lot of... I feel like the majority of things I've watched over like the last month and a half, maybe even 2 months have been lighter series. Lighter, fluffier, happy feels kind of series. Nothing that's been too heavy or, you know, too emotionally driven. Like, yes, there's some moments that, you know, make you sad or like, oh, or, you know, you want to hug the person, you want to help them resolve the problems. But for the majority of the things I've watched, they've kept it light and they've made me feel light when watching it. And that's what this series has been so far. Like, it's been, you know, light and easy breezy, and then they decided, okay, we've got 2 episodes left, so let's just take a staggering hot knife and just stab these people straight in the feels. Oh my god. Yeah. First half of the episode was basically, you know, the setup for the latter half of the episode. So Jerry went on some more blind dates because his mama wanted him to go on some blind dates, get him a girl, get married, blah, blah, all that stuff. So he went on the dates, and obviously he had 0 interests. He met the one girl who was like, okay, this could be like my new best friend because she's so super cool. And, you know, I loved her look, love everything about her. But then it was in the accidentally running into the first blind date when he was picking up Kai and seeing how hurt she was that really put into perspective for him what he was doing by just going along with what his mom wanted instead of just being honest and living his life the way he wanted to live his life. Because, you know, people were getting hurt. People were getting their hopes up and getting let down. And the last thing that he wanted to do is hurt someone else's feelings or, you know, get their hopes up, stand them up, or anything like that. So that was really the driving force in him saying, okay, I'm not going to go on the blind dates anymore. I'll explain it to this one lady in person because she deserves to know it in person. I respect that. I always respect people who have the courage to have these sort of awkward, uncomfortable conversations in person instead of like via text or, you know, whatnot. Because it's easier to just like send a text and be like, bye. But, you know, to give them the respect and sit them face to face and be like, hey, this is what's going on and I hope you can understand. Like, that, it takes balls, it takes courage. So, you know, props to Jerry for that, and props to Damien for being supportive and just saying, hey, I'll come along with you. And, you know, maybe if they see how in love we are, they'll be okay with it. And, you know, at first she seemed a little upset. And then I was like, man, these people, these blind dates are getting attached to Jerry real with a quickness. Like, Lord, she seemed pissed that he would accept this blind date. But then like 30 seconds later, she was fine. I'm like, okay, she's fine. But then, you know, inadvertently came out that he's gay, and Mama walked up at the same time. And that whole exchange with Jerry and his mom at the house after the restaurant, oh my God, so heartbreaking. It's like one of those worst case scenario kind of things that I imagine when it's one of those coming out horror stories that I've heard about. Like I said, I did not have to experience that firsthand. I thankfully had very understanding family, well, immediate family anyway. Grandparents are older, from the islands. They were set in their ways. They had certain kind of thought process and mentality that I only found out about after the fact, after they had passed. Found out all kinds of things about how they wanted me to see doctors and whatnot and all that kind of stuff. Similar kind of mentality to what Mama had here. So I just never had to experience any of that firsthand. My Mama, you know, put people in their place, put people in line, and made sure. My Mama's always been very protective of me, so she made sure that I was taken care of, and people knew to back the hell up. But yeah, that's one of those sort of just like worst case scenario things that I imagine people going through, having their parents, well, first, you know, blame themselves. Oh my God, what is it that I did to make you and your sisters gay? Oh my gosh, it's all my fault. And then that quickly switched gears into, you know, gayness being a sickness, and let's go take you to a psychiatrist, let's go get you to talk to somebody, maybe we can fix it, we can change. And he's like, no, it's not a sickness, I'm not doing anything wrong, and I have all of the things that you kept saying you wanted. You said you wanted me to settle down, get married, have a kid. I got those things. I got a kid. I got a husband. I'm married. I'm happy. I'm healthy. I've got all this stuff. It's exactly what you wanted. And she's like, no, I just needed you to be normal. You should have just lied about it. You should have just kept it secret and blah, blah, blah. And, you know, just almost like on the verge of like disowning without actually saying the words and whatnot. But that's where I was feeling it was going, and it was making me so incredibly sad, because you could see how this is exactly what Jerry did not want to happen. This is why he's been avoiding this moment for so long, because he was worried that this was going to happen, and it did. And as soon as she left, he just screamed. He screamed and he cried himself to sleep, and he seemed to just be sad in bed for days on end. And when Damien came in and, you know, got in bed and was there for him, I felt for Damien, because, you know, like I'm kind of like with Damien, where I've not had to experience that sort of negative reaction to coming out. So I don't know how to be comfort. Like, my default is to comfort people, and especially when they're upset, they're sad, whatever, like, hug, whatever, comfort. You need a cookie, I'll go bake you some cookies. You need some food, I'll go make you some food. You need a drink, I'll pour you a drink. Here, hugs, whatever. Like, my MO is to comfort people. And sometimes I don't have the answers. I don't have words. I don't have the right words. And that's where Damien seemed to be. He just didn't have the words to say. He didn't have the actions to help Jerry feel better in that moment. And it's just like, what do you do? Felt kind of helpless. Like, I don't know how to help. Like, I'm here for you. You know I'm here for you. You know I love you. And anything you need, you just say the word. I'll do it. But it's like, it's just that sort of sense of helplessness that I related to, because it's like, man, I don't know. I don't know what I would do in that scenario, where if I were dating someone and their parents would potentially disown them knowing that they were dating me or someone like that. It's like, I don't know. So it was breaking my heart to see Jerry in that, just that emotional state. And, you know, Kai came through and was like, you know, hey, don't cry. And that made me want to cry. And there's just, So many damn feels. So many damn feels. And then that last scene with, like, I didn't know how to feel. There were so many emotions going around in the air. I didn't know how to feel when Mama and Daddy showed up, and Daddy just has this stern look on his face. He just seems like this stern man who has these expectations, and you don't want to deviate from his expectations. You don't want to let him down. You live up to his expectations. And it's just like, oh God. And then he surprised us all. Everybody in that damn room, and self included, was just like, when he whips out a gift and he's like, thank you for taking care of my son. I'm like, listen, don't. Y'all can't take me on this emotional roller coaster where 5 minutes ago Mama was disowning the son because she was afraid of what Daddy would do, and now Daddy is here being accepting of the son. Like, it's just, it's beautiful and it's real. Like, the dilemma that he went through with his mom, it's real. These are scenarios that still happen to this day. It shouldn't be an issue. Like, I've given this speech so many times throughout this series. It should not be an issue at this point. We're living in the 21st century. It should not be an issue. People's sexuality, who they want to love, should not be an issue. It should not be an issue, but it still is for some people. And like, her response is a very real response that happens. Hell, worse responses happen, unfortunately. And the fact that Dad had the mentality is like, I don't understand your life choices right now. I don't understand this whole relationship, and I'm not going to pretend to understand it. But I watch the news. I know that right now we're living in a different world than what I grew up in. And even if I don't accept what you're doing, it's not going to change anything. And like, at that moment in my head, I'm like, yes, this is the mentality. I mean, it's not the ideal mentality. Ideal mentality to be like, yes, I accept you, I love you regardless. But like, it's a start. Like, hey, even if I don't understand it, even if I don't accept what you're doing and I don't accept you for what you're doing, it's not going to change the fact that you're gay. It's not going to change the fact that you're cohabitating, married with a kid. None of that's going to change by me saying that I don't accept it. The only thing that's going to be different is if I don't accept it, I then lose a child. I then lose this relationship that I have with my child, and I do not want to go down that road. I don't want to lose my relationship with my son. So if having my relationship with my son means that I have to accept the fact that he's in a relationship with a man, fine, I'll deal with it. Fine, let's do it. Thank you for taking care of my son. And like, that touched my heart so much. And you could just see the relief in Mama, because she was so worried about how the dad was going to react. And then Kai came out and they're like, hey, this is my grandson. Say hi to my grandson. And I'm like, you know what? Y'all better stop giving me these happy family moments. Y'all better stop. So, an emotional gut punch that I wasn't prepared for, especially after I just finished reacting to the latest clip that they released for the Game Boys movie with Gav and Kai outside on the couch watching a movie. And y'all, that clip made me feel a different type of way. So then coming from that to this was a complete emotional 180, and I'm just like, oh. And like, my plan was to just finish out this series in this reaction session because I only have the 2 episodes left. But I'm like, now I don't know if I can handle the next episode. I don't know what the next episode is going to entail, but I don't know if I can emotionally handle it, because Lord. Yeah, fantastic episode, fantastic exploration of just real life scenarios that not just, you know, well-established couples have to go through, but, you know, gay people in general. Like, this is just one of many coming out stories, one variation of many different coming out stories, and it's important to have that representation. It's important for people to be able to see themselves in the media like this. It's important for people to see their stories and just to know that they're not alone in the world. They're not alone, but things can and will be okay. Things will be okay. They may not turn out exactly like this. They may not end up having an amazing dad who's gonna just be accepting like this. They may end up having to, you know, be disowned or have to deal with being estranged from their family. But you know, in the end, it will be okay. Whatever the alternative is, whether it's you have your family in your life or you don't have your biological family in your life, it will be okay, because it's better to not have them in your life if they are going to be a source of pain, grief, and negativity all the time, than it would be to not live your most authentic life and have people feeding into this negative fantasy world or whatever. I don't know. I'm babbling at this point, but yeah, fantastic exploration into just these real life scenarios, and yeah, just bravo, great episode. So I hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. If you did, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, turn on notifications so you'll be notified when all my shenanigans get posted. If there's anything else you'd like me to react to, be sure to leave it down in the comments, and I'll get to it as soon as I possibly can. If you'd like to support the channel in other ways, you're more than welcome to join us over on Patreon. You don't have to, but you're more than welcome to if you want to. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Love ya. Mwah. And before you guys go, a shout out to my amazing patrons. I can't begin to express how thankful I am for your support. And if you guys would like to join us over on Patreon, the link is down in the description. I love you guys.